Yes. All right.
Favorite
So,
traveling experience and why?
favorite traveling experience and why? I'd have to say it would be when I went to Florida with Thomas to St. Augustine. All right. So, first of all, St. Augustine, Florida, it's an amazing place because the
Mm.
best way I can describe it is IRL Diagon Alley.
Okay.
Because like it's a conglomerate of stores and restaurants to where literally if you want to get to another store or restaurant you have to go through another building. Like there could be
That's cool.
some guy eating dinner and you just kind of like walk past him to get to like the store.
That's actually really neat.
It's really neat but also really weird. Before we reached St. Augustine we stayed at a couple hotels. The second hotel we stayed at before we officially reached St. Augustine had an arcade downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Thomas would crank that arcade because it had this one specific arcade game. An old Capcom game, and it was like a jet fighter, but like the little gear shift thing actually moved the seat, and it was so freaking cool. One night, it's just me and him chilling down there. And then all of a sudden, walking through the door is this really, really tall Indian guy, and then his like presumably short white friend.
Okay.
Is he presumably
then-
short and white, or is
Yeah.
he presumably his friend?
Both. Thomas was doing the jet fighter one. I was doing this game where it's a literal coin flip, like a slam the button and it flips up this giant plastic coin, and you're like you have to guess if it's going to be heads or tails beforehand. I was addicted to that because apparently I'm just addicted to gambling.
Gambling
games.
addiction. Yeah.
The Indian guy had with a very stereotypically Indian accent goes, I do not know how to play any of these games. How do you do this? And so I'm like, oh, okay, he doesn't know. I'll help him out here. And so I walk over to him and I'm like, hey, so play like any of these arcade machines, you got to get like a little card, and you just like put like however much money in, and then that saves on a little card that it'll dispense out for you, and then you just spend that on any of the games. And he's like, okay, thank you. And then so I go back to my gambling addiction, and then again he's like, which one of these games will win me the best prizes? I need to win prize for my girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help him out again. So I walk over to him and I'm like, well, I mean, probably your best bet is either just like the straight up claw machine, which I mean, it's probably not gonna get you much, or there's go to like any of the games that like get you like large amounts of points, because then there's like this big glassed in tower kind of thing, and like depending on how many points you had at the end you could swipe your card and it would give you like some kind of prize depending on how many points you had.
Right.
And he's like, okay, well then which machine will give me the best points? And you know, this is like an arcade machine. Probably if you've been to an arcade you've seen it.
Yeah.
You know the big bass machine where you grab the thing and
Billy
you
Bass
spin
machine.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it had one of those in it. And so I'm like, that's probably your best bet. It is a luck kind of one, but it does still give a decent amount of coins. And he's like, I don't know how to do it. Can you show me? And I'm like, all right. And then so I had to swipe my card and I do it. And I got like the highest amount on there. I think it's the 1,000. And for some reason, he saw me as the golden cow. And he was like, oh, you will be my spin boy. You spin good for me. You win me prize for my girlfriend. And I'm like, I'm gonna be your what? And so all of a sudden this very simple explanatory experience changed to me being basically kidnapped by this very tall Indian man as he forces me to play the Billy Bass game.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
And like
man.
he didn't care. He like gave me his card, and I just kept swiping on it as he just loomed over me from behind me.
Oh, that's
And then
hilarious.
finally, like after a while of me just like occasionally looking over to Thomas and being like, "Fucking help me." He like sees me, and he like, "Oh, that's probably not okay." So he gets up and like starts talking to the guy and like starts distracting him for me. And then like as that's happening, like two of the security people to the hotel come in and they're like, "All right, folks, it's we're shutting the arcade down for the night." The Indian guy started pouting because he was like, "No, I have to win prize for my girlfriend." And so like as he's doing that and talking to the security guy, I like start decently sprinting out of there. And then I'm like probably halfway from the arcade to like the front door of the hotel. Just behind me, echoing out from the arcade, I just hear, "No, where did my spin boy go?" And I fucking run.
Oh my gosh.
How old were you during this?
This
I
was last
was
year.
17. It was like
Last year,
yeah.
really? Wow.
Yeah, I never saw the guy again. Yeah, but
Billy
it's
Bass
become a
was saying.
running joke that any time I'm within the vicinity of a Billy Bass arcade machine, he's just gonna like spawn. He's gonna spawn in like an
Metamorphosize right in
NPC in
there,
a
yeah.
video game.
boy. I need to win prize for
You were
My
way too
spin
good
boy,
at that
I have found
impression.
you again.